Great. So thanks for joining us today. I'm going to, just so everyone gets some context on the perspective you bring to the table, I'd like to ask each of you, maybe we can start with, we'll start with you, Matt, to do like a 1 to 2 minute introduction on you, your own personal background, a bit about the company, and sort of what stage you're at now.
Great. I'm Matthew Price. It's great to be back. I'm a CBS alum, class of 2009. Oren was aware of my first foray into entrepreneurship since I sort of blithely emailed him and pestered him to get a meeting to talk about a term sheet that I had in hand with another university. The background of that is the Great Recession. I graduated without an offer from CBS. Like many of my classmates, you'd be shocked to know, especially if you read the public information from the business school. And basically took opportunities that I was seeing among companies who were struggling for early stage funding or help to a mentor who was on the faculty here named Robert Fallon. In the course of that, Robert said, oh, you're looking at a biotech company. I was looking at a company on Long Island, and it was mired in a huge lawsuit in China, and I was viscerally feeling I shouldn't go down that route because I didn't have the expertise or the ability to help a company out of a foreign lawsuit. So he said, well, but you're getting to understand the biotech world. Here's something I'm looking at. He was looking at chemotherapy from a university in the Midwest. And fast forward 5 years, we are partners running a small biotech based in Midtown Manhattan in phase 1 clinical development, working with the MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, the largest cancer hospital in the world, which seems odd for a small company, but for a variety of reasons we could be able to work with them. 2 other centers in the US. We've got operations in 7 countries and are still kicking.
And you've got a PhD in biology, a law degree, and you were in private equity before coming to Columbia, right?
None of the above. In fact, I'll even tell you, so I came as a J-termer doing the illegal thing, which is a career transition as a J-termer. I'd been in the nonprofit world before this. My experience had been in producing music at Lincoln Center. And what I found is working as a producer and working in early stage entrepreneurship have very similar components. Ironically, I firmly believe that the film industry and the pharma industry are merging in the way they operate in very, very peculiar and analogous ways. So I was able to translate those skills, but obviously thanks to Columbia and some more education.
Great, thank you. Vishal.
Okay, so I'm a faculty here in the Computer Science Department at Columbia. I've been here 14 years now, I guess. It's been long. The company I started, it's called Infinio. It grew out of some research that we had done in our lab, and I negotiated with Oren 4 years ago to get the license. I think both of us were 100% happy.
We're still smiling. He still comes to my class. I don't have to pay him too much to come here. Oh, sorry.
Under the table. So before that, as a grad student, I sort of accidentally started a company. I didn't know that I was starting a company, but we were passionate fans of the sport of cricket, and we ended up starting this website called Cricinfo, which ESPN eventually acquired, and it's still today the world's most popular sports website. So that was a very different experience from what I'm experiencing right now. Infinio has now grown quite a bit. 4 years ago it was Oren and me negotiating. Now we have 2 offices in Cambridge and Nashua. We have 70 plus employees. We're going towards 100. We have been selling our product for 5 quarters now. Things are going reasonably well. So.
And how many rounds? Just funding rounds and.
Okay.
So. As of today.
As of today. I can confirm 3 rounds.
3 rounds. You can neither confirm nor deny anything else.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Vishal.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Seth.
Well, good morning. I'm Seth Tripper. I'm currently with Yahoo, part of Labs and Academic Partnerships. There I have 2 primary focuses. One is on establishing and fostering collaboration with top research universities. The other being identifying technologies and companies for collaboration and/or acquisition. I've been at Yahoo for just over a year. Prior to that, share with you a little bit about my background. Spent the first 10 years as an engineer at AT&T and IBM. Went to grad school, got involved in licensing out technology at a university. We developed the technology over a couple of years. We exited that, started another company, a different industry. And in fact, the first company, the exit was large in part due to the intellectual property of the company. Second company we started, exited about a year and a half ago, again, largely due to its intellectual property, was able to have an exit there. Over the course of the last 15 years, been involved in tech startups, been working with universities to help them license out technology and spin out companies. So really interested, really excited about the entrepreneurial scene and intellectual property and its benefits to companies. Thanks.
Great, thanks.
I'm Greg Blonder. I originally started at Bell Laboratories as a staff scientist, and over time ended up running a number of the labs, including starting a human factors as well as a material science group, and through an odd sense of circumstances ended up becoming the chief technical advisor for the corporation, running around trying to explain that the internet is coming, and it takes a beer to find out what really went on there, but it was an interesting time. And that was, a modestly successful run. And in a large company like that, you can influence it to save $1 billion here or $1 billion there, but when they're doing $50 billion, you feel like you haven't done your job. AT&T divested itself. I joined AT&T Ventures, which was a venture capital firm which had the name from AT&T, but was otherwise unaligned, although they were a limited partner in the first fund. And then after that went to Morgan Thaler Ventures, which I think was the third oldest venture capital firm in the company. And I don't know whether Oren has ever explained this to the class, but Dave Morgan Thaler there pioneered the rule change which allowed the prudent man rule to be changed. And then when the prudent man rule was changed, venture capital increased in size by a factor of 10. So it's very interesting to look at the history of that, because up until then, large institutional investors were prohibited from putting money into a risky asset class like venture capital. And after the prudent man rule was changed, it was imprudent not to put money into risky investments in order to ensure you had enough return for your investors. So there was almost more than a factor of 10 capitalization change after that rule change. I worked at Morgan Thaler Ventures for a number of years. I started a number of companies spinning out IP, sometimes from universities and other people. I also ended up becoming the relief pitcher operator to run a few firms that ran into trouble and needed to be bailed out. And for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been doing my own startups, as well as licensing things to companies, including as seen on TV corporations, which is an interesting run.